Up. And let's see, I think, yes, we are live here with Scoop, Shane, and Brandon. I'm Robert. And what is going to be, honestly, a good bit of baseball today because of everything that has happened over the last couple days in baseball. Let's start with that, shall we? I don't even know where to begin.
I do.
We all wanted the Mariners to be to win this, and it didn't happen. Shane, you know how to begin. Please open up. I don't have much to say because I was watching a lot of the Bucks game, and I thought that game was fun. Mariners not so much.
Yeah. After 10.5 years, the Malcolm Butler goal line interception is no longer the saddest moment in Seattle sports history. Or the most anger-inducing, should I say. You know, and I'm not saying that to be dramatic. That's
the truth. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And I cried during that Super Bowl. And I was just telling the guys before we got on, like, that Super Bowl to me, 10.5 years later, as you said, I feel a lot better about because I actually think that game is phenomenal. Like, all 4 quarters of that game, I could still rewatch it. I've rewatched it, I think, maybe twice now. And even though Seahawks lost, and I'm not as much of a Seahawks fan as I was then, honestly, that game killed my Seahawks fandom. I just kind of stopped. I couldn't do it anymore, which is, I think, fair. But
yeah.
But, like, I love that game now just because I think it's the best Super Bowl of all time. I think it's fantastic. But for the Mariners, right, like, you guys have done a great job getting me into baseball over the last year, and for the Mariners to do good actually adds so much to it. But Dan Wilson, the bullpen, the pitching, the fastballs over the middle in every single opportunity when you didn't do that in the ALDS, just a complete collapse on every level. Yeah.
It's it's like here's why this sucks more. Okay. Because with that Super Bowl, they had just won the year before. So it wasn't like, if they win, it'll be the first time they win the World Series, God, the Super Bowl, and that's great. But like, that just happened the year before. So while it did suck, it's like, well,
and it was a dominant performance as well. It was clear, and yeah.
So I mean, while that did suck, it was still like, well, at least I got it last year, and I still was very optimistic about that team going forward. I mean, I didn't think they'd be back again, but like, I figured just with how good their roster was and how much I liked ownership and management, I was like, yeah, they'll be fine. And I mean, they have been for the most part. But for this, I mean, this is like, this feels a lot more like when Cincinnati randomly got hot a few years ago, because where I just knew that was not going to be sustained success because we know how bad the front office is and
how cheap the Bengals are.
Right, and that's how I feel here.
You can hear the somber in Shane and my voice. You can hear it.
Well, I have a lot of thoughts, though. I mean, I do think Jerry Dipoto is a good general manager. I know that's not a super popular opinion, but when you look at what he's been able to do through drafting, through trades, and working with the very shoestring budget he has, I think what he's done is pretty impressive. That being said, I think ownership for the Mariners is terrible. I don't think it is terrible. It's very cheap. It's, it's definitely, they kind of have the mentality of like, well, let's just win enough to like stay relevant and sell sell tickets and jerseys or whatever. And I don't like the coaching staff here. Dan Wilson, Seattle loves Dan. Done a lot for the team. But he's not a good manager. Some of the worst
decision making ever.
Yeah, he's not a good manager. And Edgar Martinez is not a good hitting coach. I mean, they had him as their hitting coach a few years back.
Who would have thought that you'd be saying Edgar Martinez is not a good hitting coach?
Well, they had him a few years back. Didn't work. And then they brought him back for whatever reason. Surprise, surprise. Still doesn't work.
It's so ironic. It's so ironic.
It is. But, I mean, it's just because a guy is good at something doesn't mean he's good at teaching it or at,
Yeah.
For instance, I was reading an article.
Seattle just got blocked on a field goal.
That's why I was like, what happened there for a second?
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, Shane. We are live watching the Seahawks game. If you don't, well, that's why we went live now, but still.
I was reading an article. Somebody trained with Shaun White for snowboarding. And she was super excited, but she's like, he's a great guy, but was a terrible teacher. Like, because it's just, and he acknowledged it too. He's like, yeah, it's not my thing,
respect,
because it is different. And I mean, I know this as somebody who has been both a player and a coach. As a coach, you have to be so much more obsessed with all the little details. And not only that, but, when you're a player, you're just focusing on what you're doing. Now you have to worry about everybody, how it all comes together. Not just how they are as players, but how the team chemistry is, how, game time decisions. Those are things you don't do when you're just a player. So, anyways, I mean, I didn't think Scott Service was that bad of a manager. I mean, when they fired him last year, they were 500, and that was with a really pretty bad roster, in my opinion. But, they fire him for whatever reason and replace him with a guy that has zero coaching experience. That makes sense. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. It's just weird, man. But anyways, I say all that because the reason this pisses me off so much, this loss, as compared to the Super Bowl, because unlike that team that had just won and where I was like, I trust their long-term vision, I don't here.
Oh,
I feel
not
like
at all.
I'm not confident that the Mariners will even be back in the postseason next year.
Yeah, not at all.
And, whereas Toronto, different story. I would be shocked if they did not make it back to the postseason. Same with the Dodgers, the Brewers, all these other good teams there. Mariners,
yeah.
Yankees, yeah. Mariners, I don't know, 50-50. Which, this very much feels like just kind of lightning in a bottle. It just sort of came together at the right moment, and so my mom goes, "Well, there's always next year," and I was like,
"No, there isn't."
I was like, with a team like this, you can't really have that mentality. unfortunately.
Especially with free agency coming up, a lot of the guys are going to leave too. A lot of the guys who got traded too. So yeah,
Yeah. But and I was I was texting with my brother-in-law because he was saying, "Oh yeah, we're watching the Seahawks game," and I was like, "Well, I'm not because Mariners game 7." And then
I'm watching both.
And then when it was over, honestly, I didn't even care to watch the Seahawks, which is the first time I've ever said that in my life.
Honestly, that's kind of fair because Seattle's kind of killing at this point. To be fair, we'll talk about it further.
One-score game at half.
It is a one-score game now at half, so at least there's something there.
Great. Anyways, no, but okay, yeah. So then, this night I text when the game was over. I said, "Why does God hate the Mariners?" And
the baseball gods.
No, and he replied, "God made fish. Mariners kill fish, so God kills Mariners."
Scoop, are you muted? Is your audio working? Oh, okay. Wait, you're not muted? Yeah, I just want to make sure your audio was working.
Audio. I didn't want to accidentally make sound while Shane was speaking.
Oh, that's fine. Shane, do you mind if we go with the rest of the crew here? Draw on your sorrows a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, did I have something else I wanted to say?
Oh, Jesus.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I guess it's just.
Shane,
I wouldn't have been
please clip this. Clip our sorrow. Just clip it for the weekend.
Clip the sorrow.
I wouldn't.
That's got to be the name.
I wouldn't have been as disappointed if. I mean, this sounds weird, but if the Blue Jays had just won the series in 4 or 5 games.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was. Because that's what I was expecting.
Can I say something? I apologize, Shane, but I really want to say this. My dad always... Yeah, I do apologize.
I'm kidding.
Because this is something my dad always says. And, we can talk about home field advantage all we want and what it means and whatever. He hates when, the Seahawks, for example, lose at home. Because you're paying so much money, hundreds of dollars to go, and you lose. And I'm like, well, yeah, I get that point, but home field advantage it means something, but not as much as it used to, kind of thing. That's always my response. This is the one.
It depends where you're playing, I think.
That is very true. I'm not trying to turn this into a whole home field advantage discussion.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Chargers and Rams fan, then I'm sorry, but no, but the thing is, where home field advantage really matters is in MLB postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you are up 2-0 and you can't really win at home, right? We only win one at home?
You won 1 out of 3 at home. Yep.
Yeah, so 3-1. Was it 3-1 again in the series? I'm tripping. Or was it
3-2?
3-2. Anyway, but again, why am I tripping? 3-2, yes. But it's to lose like that at home, to not be able to get it done at home is finish it like that. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, though, baseball has more road playoff wins than any other sport.
Yeah. Actually, Yankees, we've been walked off on our own field, 3 times in a row?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, what was I saying? Yeah, no, I mean, I was expecting them to lose in 4 or 5, and if that had happened, I'd have been like, all right, whatever. But the fact that they got off to a 2-0 lead, they gave me so much hope, and then
much to our surprise, by the way.
And then and then they made it 3-2, and I was like, oh my gosh, this might actually happen. And then they're within 1 run for this game, and then blow it in game 7. I'm like, are you joking me?
And the thing is, right, I said this going into the Toronto series, and I was wrong that I thought Toronto was going to smack them as they're showing the highlights on ESPN. Thank you, ESPN, for ruining us a little bit more. But I understand. It's like
I don't understand.
I didn't have much. They had to show it. But the thing is, I didn't have much hope, and even if we won this, we were going to get smacked with the Dodgers. I'm pretty comfortable in saying that I'm actually quite excited for Dodgers Blue Jays. I think it's going to be a great series. Probably more than it would have been. I get it.
Oh my God, it's the worst series imaginable for me. For me
and for Scoop, I would imagine. But yeah, it's bad. Scoop, I'll start with you because something that I wanted to ask you as our analytical expert on the show. The analytics of the Mariners' decision making is one of the worst things ever. I mean, I know Shane and you go back and forth, and we love that about how you guys differ on analytical.
Oh yeah, we have to have this debate also too because you should do that for the show.
If Shane wants to wait a little bit, I understand. I don't want to.
No, but I think even Shane would agree that the analytical decision making made no sense here whatsoever for the Mariners.
Yes.
No, it didn't, and that's why I say repeatedly, like I've said this, and for some reason, people who really who watch WTS and like really want to go after me about analytics, for some reason, they never seem to hear when I say this. Analytics is a tool that is used. It is not the be-all, end-all. Mm-hmm. It is an important tool, and it is important information, but that does not mean that you have to make every single decision off of a specific number. That is not the case. It is, and that never was intended to be the case. I think that, where it comes in most handy is, for example, like people say, well, it's the eye test. I don't care who you are. IBM Watson is probably the only one who can see 162 games and remember every single thing that happened. I promise you, your memory of May 17th is not going to be as sharp on October 17th. And
May 17th doesn't matter on October 17th.
Yeah.
Right. Well, so that's my point. So, like, that's why I don't. When I hear people say I trust my eyes, I'm like, I think that's a flawed concept. That being said, I mean, first and foremost, and I'll say this: I don't remember if I wrote about it or if I did a show about it one way or the other, because I don't remember exactly when it happened. But I was so confused, and I thought it was a horrible decision when they fired Scott Servais. And bringing in Dan Wilson, and this is the issue that I have with teams, is it's great to bring in franchise faces as managers. I mean, it's a cool thing or whatever the case may be. Just because somebody wore your fucking jersey, doesn't mean that they're going to be a good leader in the clubhouse. And and Shane just kind of spoke about it a little while ago. We saw it with, he mentioned Edgar Martinez. I'll mention Barry Bonds in Miami. Sorry?
Well,
excuse me. It's somebody can be a legend at what they did. That doesn't mean that they're going to be. I mean, Bill Belichick, for crying out loud, he was notorious for being a great coach, but being horrible at teaching others how to be coaches.
You're just expanding on Shane's Sean White example. It's perfect flow.
Yeah. So, but it's just my point. Well, I mean, I have several points that I'm trying to make here, but what else is new? But I just
we're pissed.
But
across the board.
I look at this from a holistic standpoint, and it's just. And now again, I feel like at this point, it feels like George. Like I'm glad that the Astros are no longer winning it every damn year, but it feels like George Springer. No matter where the hell he goes, there's just something about he feels kind of like the Tom Brady of the because it just, for whatever reason, even if he has a crappy regular season, he's going to find a way to do damage in October, and it's just
he's like Edelman.
And I was just going to say,
it is Edelman, 100%.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a good non-quarterback.
That's exactly where I was going to go, Shane. Thank you.
Edelman. That's a great one. And it just it's annoying.
Thank
and you tip your cap and all of that good stuff. But I watched that tonight, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, and that's why when I hear people, I mean, and we've heard it, used sort of derogatively on, or maybe that's not the pejoratively, whatever word you want to use, by people who are broadcasting or commentating games and saying, well, the analytics in this day and age. Okay, anybody who actually studied sabermetrics or studied these things like that, there are not so many of these things. I'm like, what the hell numbers would have told them to do that? That just because you don't agree with it, just because a bad decision was made, doesn't mean it was made because of analytics. Sometimes just bad decisions are made whether they're used analytically or not. Not every bad decision is analytically motivated.
So Dan Wilson, the bad decisions.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is I feel like every time people want to say a bad decision was made or criticize a bad decision by a manager, they say, "Oh, that's what happens with the analytics." I'm like, I could tell you about 100 different metrics that would have been used in that situation. Not one freaking one of them would have told them to do that. It's frustrating because,
and again, what we're talking about is pitching decisions across the board, Scoop, that just didn't make sense.
Yeah. But what's so disappointing to me as an outsider, but somebody who just is a baseball fan, is, I mean, for years this team was talked about as having perhaps the brightest future in terms of young talent. We were it wasn't just it wasn't just the Julio Rodriguez, and even going back to Jared Kelenic or the Emerson Hancocks, like all these names, we were, they were making it sound like they were getting ready to take the reins, not just from for 1 year from Houston for the division, but the next 5 to 10 years. And it feels like they just did them. Let's take Brandon and I keep talking about. We see this in NFL and MLB way too much recently. They got them damn selves beat.
Why are we not talking about Toronto in this? Because this is the Mariners' fault.
I'll end it with this. Last year, people would say that the Yankees only got to the American League because they had a cupcake path and one thing or another, and they didn't earn the wins so much as the other teams earned the losses. That applies 1,000 times more for me to Toronto this year than it did to New York last year.
And Scoop, to finish that off, I mean, the truth of the matter with Toronto, and why we're not talking about it, is that this was the Mariners' fault, top to bottom, right? Like
it was exactly the Mariners. And I also want to respond because I 100% agree with what he said. Where I don't put a lot of the fault of this at Jerry DiPoto's feet. I'm actually more of a Jerry DiPoto fan than a decent number of people are, which I don't know if I've said on this show or not, but that is the case. I think that if I were to make a list of the top 5 people to whom I would lay blame at the feet for this horrific and frankly embarrassing ending, I don't think that I would put Jerry DiPoto in that top 5. And if he is, he's at the bottom of that top 5.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair.
He's nowhere close, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
No way. Brandon, there's specific moments of pulling the starting pitching, the fastball over the middle of the plate, those specific things that you and I kept kind of harping about throughout this series for Seattle.
It's one thing why the only things are reasons why we're saying that Seattle lost this series, but we just didn't win it, and here's another reason. You don't see this ever in a 7-game series, really. Maybe if it's hockey, but hockey has so many twists and turns, it's a little bit different. But you don't
so many different variables.
But yeah, and the thing is, a puck bounces a certain way and it goes in the back of the net, or a puck bounces a certain way to an opponent and they score a goal. So it's like, things happen in hockey. But in baseball, especially, you don't see 2 blown leads in a series. You blew 2-0 and you blew 3-2. So it's like, if you blow the first one 2-0, many teams come back from 2-0, whatever it is. But they go on to win, maybe 4 of the next 3 of the next 4, whatever it is, like Toronto did, and when, or they come back and they win the series, and like that team that usually goes up 2-0 never wins another game. Usually they ended in game 6, whatever it is, when they come back. You don't see a blown 2-0 and then a blown 3-2 lead, and then just with the pitching decisions, this is why even tonight, Kirby. I looked it up. Kirby threw 4 innings. Didn't have a lot of Ks, but 4 innings. Gave up only 4 hits in 4 innings. I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible. But he only got one run, and he was only had 65 pitches. Why are you pulling him? Why? What could you possibly? What possibly goes through your mind? Analytics or not, whichever one you're going off of here. Who the hell pulls their pitcher after 65 pitches in a game? Not even just in a game 1 or game 2, in a game 7. Why are you pulling the pitcher? Why?
Why does this happen so much in baseball recently? That's what I don't understand. I don't get it.
I don't.
Sorry, I was just going to say.
No, please, Scoop. Can you explain?
Well, I was only going to say this because again, and everyone wants to, bring it up, because I'll own it, because I said in the very beginning, I was like, I don't know how you can keep pitching Kirby in the very beginning when because he had started off the game very poorly. It wasn't, and he gave up. His command wasn't there, and so I do agree with managing with urgency in a do or die game like this. However, if you were going to pull him out and just declare this a bullpen game, that was the time to do it. And then you bring in somebody else and just let them go 3 or 4 innings and make it work from there, depending on leverage. But
oh my God, CJ! Oh my God, Seattle down to the 15-yard line. Oh my God,
that might have been the worst throw I've ever seen him ever make in his career.
Oh my God! We'll talk about the Texans shortly. Continue.
I'll be straight up. I don't even have the damn game on.
That's fine. This game is not that interesting.
Either.
This game is not that interesting. I'll be real.
But,
continue, Scoop.
Although I'm going to watch it so that I can have a palate cleanser. Robert, hit me up with an illegal stream link, will you? No, I'm kidding.
No, man, no.
On air of all places.
On air, we can't do.
No,
dude, you have the ESPN app. Just log in.
FBI, I'm joking.
Just log in on the ESPN app.
Are you?
Jesus.
Are we?
Yeah. Hold on.
Anyway, continue, Scoop.
Well, no, because the only thing that I was going to say, because again, I didn't want to be talking out of both sides of my mouth and being like, I can't see why you would have taken him out, after 65, because again, I was calling for him to potentially be taking out in the second, but he got himself figured out, and then
it just wasn't as instantaneous as you would have liked, which I think is fair.
Yeah, exactly. So if he's getting rocking, then that part of it worked out. That the decision to kind of rock with him for a little bit, there worked out. But if you're gonna do that, then it's like, why go halfway? Either you're gonna live and die with your starter, or you're gonna go bullpen game at the first sign of trouble.
You can't be in the middle.
Well, that was my issue. You try to play it down the middle, and playing it down the middle doesn't win you games. Playing down the middle may win the division. Playing it down the middle doesn't win you championships or pennants.
And like, especially when you see that he's rolling then through 4.
Yeah.
When you're at 65 pitches, you would think roughly he has maybe 2 innings left in him, but at least one more. But that whole thing changes even if you just let him go one more and then you turn it over to Brian Wu. So it's like.
It's to me, it's so many different things. It's what kind of contest is he giving up? Like if he strikes out a guy and gives up 2 easy grounders, I'm a lot more comfortable with that than he just gave up 2. Then he just gave up 2 lineouts and a deep center and a deep fly to the warning track. Like things like that are what I pay attention to when it comes to how do I feel about a guy, not just his pitch count, but none of it made sense from that vantage point, and So that's what was throwing me, and that what I just said is why I said I don't even think this analytically made any sense, because analytically, if you're taking out a guy and you're using that as your vantage point, typically it's either because of it's one of usually 4 things: third time through the order, because typically you're going to get hit better third time through the order. It's typically that. It's typically a pitch count thing. Excuse me, or it's usually hard contact, or some combination thereof. We weren't seeing that, so that's why when people are like analytics, I'm like, do you even know what that word means? Because
you're saying that not in this context, because I think you're right. In this context, in this series, it just didn't feel that way.
Like
It
that's
just felt like awful
that's
management.
what
Well,
bothers me.
no, I'm not saying you guys are saying that. I'm saying for the people right now who are, because I just heard it on television, and so I'm not arguing with you guys. I'm arguing with the people
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
to me it just use it as a bugaboo word for anything that they disagree with,
You know,
and I'm just like, no. Sometimes it's not data versus eye test. Sometimes it's just dumb.
Yep. There
You
you
know, but you
go.
know, like,
Well, that
you
is.
know what's-
I mean, I will say though, like that is a big reason why, Robert, to answer your question, why this has been happening a lot more in recent years,
Yes,
is
yes,
because analytics do say take a pitcher out in the 5th or 6th inning because he gets, after that, oh well,
Right.
the
Right.
lineup
I'll add
gets
to
used
this
to him
though.
more, so
I'll
then
add-
you keep pulling.
yeah,
but which
I agree with that.
sometimes sure that makes sense, but like in this case, not really. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
guy, you got the hot
Yeah.
hand, you keep him in. Like,
I apologize, but really quick, I think ultimately, as much as we like to talk about analytics in baseball, I think ultimately the issue is a lot of these managers are just dumb.
yeah.
They're just stupid.
Well, that's just and I think what we're overlooking also is not just, excuse me, not just the manager or the GMs want a puppet or one thing or another. I see this happen. Well, let's go outside of sports for a minute. How many times have we heard the last few years that positions like teachers and one thing or another, you'll get these experienced people who are on these elevated salaries, and people are thinking, well, I can save money and just hire an inexperienced guy, at 20% of the salary. And yeah, he might not have as much experience, but he'll learn on the job here, and I'll pay him 20% as much. I think a good amount of it is just hey, I can pay you less, basically. I think some of it really is that simple in some cases.
Yeah. Brandon, Shane, anything else on this?
You know what bothers me the most about this? It's one thing, and I still can't believe it. With taking a pitcher out that early, but it's the fact that you did it 2 or 3 times in this series that bothers me. Like you didn't
Two or
learn.
3 times in a game in this series.
You didn't. It's like you didn't learn your lesson the first time it happened. That should have been. And you did it. You do it again in a game 7. How?
First rule of holes: stop digging.
Yeah, like how dumb of a manager do you have to be to not learn your lesson? Especially in a game 7. Like
Apparently, Dan Wilson.
Wait, what's the number for drilling a hole, Shane? What's the phone number? Because I think we should
811.
call it 811. Yeah, let's call 811. Stop drilling holes.
I just
I've called them before.
Yeah.
It's like I look at baseball. I look at sports in general, and just for someone that's played baseball, and for some like baseball, when you're involved in a game, so that includes managers and players, coaches. When you're involved in it and you see what's going on the field, and if you're, I don't know how in Dan Wilson's mind you go out there looking at what's going on through 4 innings, and you're like, I'm going to take my pitcher out now. You had a lead. You literally had a pitcher that was finding his groove, like Scoop was saying. Like that was what made me angry when Aaron Boone did it with Luis Heel and took him out in like the 3rd inning or 2nd or 3rd inning. I forget what game it was against Toronto. I think it was game 1, I believe it was. And I'm like, yeah, but Luis Heel literally was starting to find it. He had gotten I think it was like 2 or 3 outs in a row. They looked good. Like it wasn't like it was loud outs. It wasn't loud contact. It was like he was striking.
Yeah.
I'm like, you gotta let him figure it out. Especially and the thing is, that's only in game 1, but in a game 7, that's almost a federal offense.
Yeah, like it's one thing to. I mean, it's not good either way, but I mean, you gotta. I don't remember the exact phrase, but I'll paraphrase it. You gotta manage to the moment, and you're completely just you're looking at this and what's his name on the other side? I almost said John Gibbons, John Schneider, excuse me.
Gosh, yeah.
Like you saw what he was doing. I mean the decisions that were being made and the non-decisions that were being made. Sometimes the best decisions are the ones you don't make, right? And I think sometimes these guys, I think, get to the point where they are so intent on that was a poor way to phrase it, but basically the what we were talking about before in terms of the mistakes, making the mistakes before. It's like they learn or they develop themselves in one way as a manager, and then if it doesn't work out, they don't adapt, they don't adjust, they don't reposition their process, for lack of a better word. And it's just, it's like, how many times, this isn't spring training. You don't get to, dick around with this stuff now and, oh, it didn't work the first time, hopefully it'll work the next time. Like,
you can't do that game. You can't do that game by game in October.
No, this isn't the time to do that. And it's I think sometimes certain guys, and I don't know if this was Dan Wilson tonight, but I think sometimes get smartest guy in the room syndrome. And I think sometimes guys think that I'll outsmart the guy I'm going up against if I do this or do that. And but far too often I see guys who think that they're going to be the smartest guy in the room end up not doing that. And typically I've seen way too many times managers on different teams, not just New York or otherwise, try and do that, and it just does not work out. And it's just it's a bold strategy and does not usually pay off for them.
The only thing
it's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. When somebody is stupid but thinks they're a genius, look it up.
No,
I've
actually heard that.
You see it in football too.
You know what I'm trying to think of right now as to why, like, I'm still trying. I don't even think this is a good reason at this point, but I think maybe the only plausible reason that Dan Wilson takes Kirby out after 4 innings and 65 pitches. What do you? I guess you don't trust him for the next inning or two.
Then why are you starting him if you don't trust him?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand how you're managing it just so in the middle like that. Like, it's like the 4th inning, no matter who's in that game, the 4th inning is never a time to change a pitcher unless he's being completely rocked. And he wasn't. Like, from innings 2 through 4, he was locked in.
The only thing to me that makes sense is if Kirby literally went up to him and said, "I don't think I can get through another inning."
Which I, it's like, but then that's crazy.
In Game 7, no one's gonna freaking do that.
Yeah, no one's gonna say that.
I'm not saying that they are. I'm just saying it would take something that extreme for me to see why this made any lick of sense.
We're not talking about Anthony Richardson here.
Yeah, maybe it's an injury. Maybe he felt something pop or something. We don't know.
Yeah, I don't have any reports on that.
Well, I'm not so sure that we would hear about it right away, but
yeah,
maybe we would. I don't know. But when I was trying to think or like process what was going on, that was like literally the only thing that could come to my mind, because I didn't I was trying to analyze, and this is how I try and do things. Even if I don't agree with it, I try and figure out, okay, what might have been the logic here, or what could have been the logic here. And I was going to every corner of my mind in this massive head of mine, and I was not able to find anything that was making sense.
Yeah. Shane, do you want the last word on this Mariners game?
I mean, thanks for continuing to disappoint us, I guess. It's one thing you're good at. So,
I mean, I'll let Shane have the last word again, because I'm just thinking about this now. I know J-Rod hit a big homer in the game, but that last at bat gave me PTSD of Aaron Judge.
Oh my God! Yes.
Not even Aaron Judge. I can't think of a single at bat this postseason where Aaron Judge looked that bad.
That is true. I will also say another thing that pissed me off throughout this series, and I forgot to mention it. I think a huge issue, like, immediately in the game that made me angry and made me feel like, yeah, they're gonna lose. The Mariners are gonna lose. They still were pitching to Vladdy and giving him pretty easy pitches.
I still don't.
Why does anybody like? This is in my mind how almost every Vladdy Guerrero at bat in a big 1-0 game should go.
Yeah,
Walk. Take a walk.
Unless you're walking like obviously there's certain situations you don't walk him, but if there's a free base and there's 1 out, 2 outs, I'm putting him on it.
The only guy I'm not walking him to get to is George Springer. That is the only guy I'm not walking.
That's not going to happen. So
Right,
just walk him.
That is the only guy I'm not walking him to get to. It's like in football. What was the big Bill Belichick thing? We're locking down your number one receiver. If you're going to beat us, it is not going to be with him.
Yeah.
That's a huge reason why the Patriots won Super Bowls.
I'm pretty sure because the Dodgers aren't dumb. They're a championship caliber organization every year. They're not the Yankees who refuse to walk any good Yankee killers. But the Dodgers are smart. I genuinely believe that they're just not going to pitch to him. Like if they get into a situation where it's like, everybody knows you should walk them, they are going to walk them. They're not going to puff their chest out and be like, strike them out.
I could see, if it comes down to it, I could see them Barry Bondsing him. I could literally see them walking him with bases loaded, because it's like, if we're not going to take a risk of you getting 4 months, here, take your 1, but we're not giving you 4.
If they're up 4-0, 5, if they're up 4-5-0 in the game, whatever it is, I would walk with the bases loaded. I do not care. I'm not letting him beat me.
No.
Yeah. And that's what the Mariners did. Shane, anything else?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine. You pissed me off.
No, you're good. You're good. I don't know what it is. I'm just getting jaded in my old age, but at the ripe old age of 25.
Just me.
But I've never in my lifetime, there's usually like one loss maybe every year or two for all of my teams combined. Mariners, Seahawks, teams I'm coaching, whatever. There's like one loss between all of them every year or two that really pisses me off or makes me upset or whatever. For whatever reason, in the last 2 months, I've had 3. Okay. I don't know what's going on, bro. But
it's not good.
But I'm not a fan of it, okay? The first one was Seattle. Well, that's not very descriptive here. The first one was the first one was the Seahawks losing week 1 at home to the frickin' 49ers, who were banged up and Number 2, that pissed. Just because it was week 1, set the tone at home or don't. Yeah, great. Thanks. Number 2, when my football team that I coach lost to our biggest rival.
Which our biggest rival that we went to school at, which I think is hilarious. We switched sides. Yeah.
Who is a much worse team than us. Yet we lost like a bunch of jack-offs. And then number 3 was this
tonight?
One. Yeah. So I'm just like, man, what's happening? Why am I so emotionally invested in all this all of a sudden?
Yeah.
But honestly, for the World Series, I kind of hope the Blue Jays win it in 4. Just because at least that way, it's like, it makes me feel a little bit better about this series, because it's like, well, the Mariners took them to 7. They made it close with them, but the Dodgers, they couldn't hang with them. Then I'd feel a little better about myself.
But we know that's not
happening.
No. But, at
we
least
can dream.
Yeah, because there's nothing worse as a player, a coach, a fan, whatever, when you get knocked out of the playoffs and then that team goes on to lose the very next series or game or whatever. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, great. So, anybody could.
Guys,
They-hold.
are you kidding me right now?
But when
Oh
that
my
team-
god.
Yeah, context.
Oh my god. Fumble in the end zone, touchdown Texans.
Yeah, we have a game now.
Oh my god, we have a football game.
What's the score?
17
It's
to
about
12, but that's before
It's
the extra
about to be
point.
17-13.
All right, well, I'm putting it on now.
Oh my god, man. Okay. All right.
Seattle needs one thing good to happen tonight.
we don't ask for much, all right?
And by the way, the Texans have been awful all game. CJ Stroud's looked terrible.
I have never. I can't remember the last time I was sitting here thinking to myself, "Damn, I wish the Flyers hadn't won earlier."
By the way, I'm a Canucks fan, so it didn't affect me, Scoop.
Okay, because I was going to say at least the Kraken would have given you something.
Oh my goodness!
They're going for two. They're going for two.
Good. I love when teams do that.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't get it. Okay.
All right. Oh,
so
tough.
So it's still 17-13?
17-12. All right, Shane, we'll start with you on our normal Monday scheduled programming. Your recap of NFL Sunday, if you can muster it. Make sure you lower your volume all the way.
I'm trying.
No, you're good. You're good. All our remotes are buggy today too. Totally, yeah. I hear it.
Trying, Robert,
I just turned the TV back on, and for some reason my volume was at 60.
What the hell?
Well, remember,
so Scoop, it's not you. It's your TV being buggy all the time. Your volume just bumps up. That's
well, you also have to be able to hear too.
Well, yeah, I don't have my hearing aids in right now.
Yeah. All right, Shane. Do you have any thoughts on Sunday, if you can muster it?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. For the first time in my life as an NFL fan, I did not watch a single snap live of football yesterday.
Why?
Because
the obvious.
Because
okay. Sunday morning, I was busy. Sunday afternoon, went to my coach's meeting. And then Sunday night, instead of watching Sunday Night Football,
I was watching
the Mariners get curb stomped by the Blue Jays. So, no, I did not. I've at work today. I watched some, highlights and different things of different games.
Yeah, I forgot you had the meeting. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so that I could get
that's probably the most respectable way to miss a Sunday in the NFL.
Yeah, so I could get a sense for things. But also, I don't know. For whatever reason, I was not having good vibes about the Mariners, and yeah, obviously I was correct. Anyways, no, I mean, general thoughts. The Jags, yikes.
Yep.
Let's see. Chicago's 4-2. That's pretty good. Although I'm still not on board yet necessarily. Because they've beat some pretty easy opponents. The Raiders, I think, somehow might be worse than last year.
I don't think somehow. I think they are.
If that's even possible, when you upgrade your quarterback and your head coach, at least on paper.
Can I make a second comment? I don't think they upgraded a quarterback.
That's why I said on paper.
Yeah, on paper. That's
he
correct.
Should be a lot better than Aiden O'Connell and whoever the hell they had.
Gardner Minshew.
Who I think is kind of
no, it's not Gardner. It's or it was. It's
last year.
It's Kenny Pickett, and he fumbled the ball right when he came in yesterday.
Yeah, but I mean last year.
Yeah.
Those are two names I never want to hear again, but okay.
Broncos are perhaps the most fraudulent 5-2 team ever.
JSN
Washington.
making these gorgeous catches right now.
Well, that was a dime too. That was like a
Oh,
dime from Sam
I
Darnold.
love JSN. Which, by the way, I want to thank JSN for validating my off-season thoughts and predictions. Everybody was like, "Oh, the Seahawks lost their two great receivers. They're gonna." I'm like, no, JSN's way better than both of them combined. And yeah. Anyways, let's see. Although I did see that Tyler Lockett's being released.
Yeah.
Nothing all year.
Honestly, good for him. Free him.
Seattle bring him back.
I'm pretty sure he requested the release.
He did.
He did, yeah.
Has he even? I'm being like half joking, half serious. Has he even registered a reception this year?
He registered a fluke touchdown. He's registered, I think, 10 receptions. Maybe I might be over. I might be over. I might be. How many? 7?
Nope, you're right. 10.
God, it
Wow.
is 10.
10.
By the way, I am the only human to get that right because I'm the only human that subject myself to the Titans on red zone.
He's got 10 catches this year. He's got 10 catches this year for 70 yards. That's it.
Where is that one touchdown? Is it that fluke one, the fumble one?
No, because that's not even a receiving touchdown. So he has no touchdowns on the year.
Oh,
I guess.
so it's not a receiving. Okay. Anything else, Shane?
Such bad football.
Yeah, how the
so bad.
Niners are 5-2 is just absurd to me.
We didn't talk about Niners Falcons obviously because we recorded early. I have nothing to say other than Christian McCaffrey done.
Well, I mean, yeah, but also like we've talked ad nauseum, not just this offseason, but the last several years, about how Kyle Shanahan is terrible at making adjustments, and with, when one player goes down, the whole ship sinks and whatever. Now this year, they've lost
everybody.
Yeah, they've lost. Not only did they lose all their B talent with Ward and Greenlaw, Debo Samuel, it's fill in the blank. But I mean, they've Purdy, Kittle's been out a while. Well, he's back now, but still, he was out for a while. Fred Warner, Bosa, all these guys are out, and they're winning somehow. And it's not like they're playing just, garbage teams. I mean, Atlanta has, they're not amazing, but they're at least competitive. It defies all odds from everything.
It defies all logic.
From everything we know about Shanahan, but defensively they look great despite everything. Which I've said it before, and I will keep saying it. Robert Saleh should be a head coach in the National Football League.
He will be next year.
Yes,
with a better organization. Praise
Jets,
God, please.
Yeah, honestly, in hindsight, I'm kind of glad the Jets fired him so that he could get an opportunity with a real team.
I was just going to say, you watched New York this weekend. They could really use a guy like him.
Yeah.
Funny how
Seriously. Yeah. So,
I proceed with caution on the Niners still, just because there's so many injuries. That's not sustainable.
I agree.
Yeah,
but still, it is impressive.
And it's it definitely is impressive. It's just I proceed with caution, just because I look at when they played the Bucs, who are probably the only legit team on this list, they lost by 2 scores. But and then the Rams, obviously, they blew that game with 2 fumbles, especially the one fumble at the end that pretty much would have won them the game. But at the same time, listen, it's still impressive with all the injuries. And the thing is too, CMC pretty much is their offense at this point.
Well, that and Mac, it wasn't the case yesterday, But that and Mac Jones throwing the ball like a rocket ship with like milliseconds is what's helping them
Yeah,
offensively.
it's not. I never thought Mac Jones was bad, but it's not sustainable. Like it's like that many injuries. Like when you get down the stretch of the season, and we rarely see what they are, and then when we see, they probably, depending on where how it's, if they continue this way, they'll make the playoffs. But you're not going to face like an unhealthy. You're not going to face a crap team in the playoffs. So it's like that's going to be a real test to see. Hey, like if they win one playoff game, then I think they can go to the Super Bowl. If they can play like this through injuries, then it's like okay. Then I'm like, oh, well, then they got something here. But I really pause with that because it's like no team can survive that many injuries and make a run. That's just not. It hasn't happened. So
Yeah.
Really, really quick before I go to Scoop, I want to showcase what the Falcons have done so far this season. It's the most bizarre thing in the world. Are you guys ready?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Bucks loss 23-20. Vikings win 22-6. Panthers loss 30-0. Commanders win 34-27. Bye week. Buffalo win 24-14. 49ers loss 20-10. Scoop, what are the Falcons?
Confused.
Confused is the right answer.
are you muted, Scoop?
Are you? Is your computer bugged? No.
There we go.
Nah. Yay.
All I said was they're the Falcons. That's the only way you can
Yeah.
describe it.
Yeah, that's true. All right, continue on the Niners then, Scoop.
Oh joy. Okay. So, I'm not gonna poke on the Kyle Shanahan thing because I think I do that at probably once every 2 episodes. But yeah, it's just like we have kind of analyzed every week at the standings and kind of looked at the teams that have a certain number of wins and level of it'd be kind of interesting to me because a few weeks ago we did that worryometer, whatever the hell we called it, panic meter.
Panic meter. Worryometer should be our name. I actually like that better.
God.
The worryometer. Can we use that? I love that. We're gonna use it. We're gonna call it the worryometer. That's so much better than panic meter because everyone uses panic meter. A worryometer. That's fantastic.
I swear, once an episode, I slapped the shit out of my computer for no reason.
I love that. Everyone uses panic meter. We're gonna call it the worryometer. I'm gonna get a huge thermometer and put it behind me and cut it the worryometer. That's fantastic.
But what I was fixing to say was just it kind of almost on the flip side of it, I kind of almost want to at some point do a fraud meter because of all the 5 and 6 win teams. Because if I'm looking right now at what appears to be if I just counted it quickly, 9 teams that I saw that have at least 5 wins. I mean,
do you want to do it right now? Let's do it right now.
Sure, I don't care.
Huge stop for Seattle, by the way.
Gigantic on 4th down. Really quick before we do that, because obviously we'll talk about the Lions in conjunction with the fraud meter. What is wrong with CJ Stroud, Brandon? Because that's kind of the biggest topic of this game so far.
I mean, he's got. For the most part, aren't they pretty much relatively healthy with their wide receiver core, wide receiver / tight end room? Like,
yeah,
aren't they like?
Minus Kirk.
I really think that they shot themselves in the foot not paying Laramie Tunsil. Like that to me is basically where their downfall lies. I don't care what quarterback you have, you're only as good as the trenches of your team. And we've said that for weeks. We've said that for really for years at this point. Like when you look at a lot, listen, every time CJ Stroud snaps the ball, there's like 3 guys in his face. but it's just, he is missing a lot of throws on his own too, so he's not excused from the blame, but he's not to blame entirely for this. It's just when you lose pretty much one of the best offensive linemen, forget tackles, one of the top 5 offensive linemen in football, that of course your line's going to take a massive hit. Look at what's happening in Philadelphia, losing 2 or 3 of their offensive linemen in there. And this offense has to make, something out of nothing almost every play because no one's blocking. Or look at Joe Burrow in Cincy. Never had any help. He's at this point, he's getting killed, and now he's out for the season pretty much again. So, it's just, you cannot in this league. You cannot have a star quarterback with no offensive line. You won't win anything. You just will not. So it's happening with Burrow. It's happening with Stroud right now. Hell, even to a certain extent, Jaden Daniels is taking a lot of punishment too behind that line.
The hamstring yesterday.
Yeah. So it's just so many teams right now their lines are destroyed. Hell, even to a degree, and that's why it's impressive that even Patrick Mahomes is even doing what he's doing this year. Listen, the Chiefs are, roughly a 500 team, but it's impressive to see what they're doing with. When we said every year for the last 2 years that their line is not good, and yet they're somehow making it work. But sometimes you can make it work. But the thing is, that's another thing with, and this is why I place a third of the blame on Stroud. I place a third of the blame on the offensive line, and I place a third of the or really no. Can I do math? Wait.
This is not a math show.
I place a quarter of the blame on CJ Stroud, 50% on the line, and 25% on coaching. Because when you don't have an offensive line, I said this during the Eagles game yesterday when we had Brett Toth playing center for us, because that guy is an absolute freaking atrocity of an offensive lineman.
Well, he's a third stringer.
No, but the thing is, he shouldn't even be on an NFL team. Period. He's not good to even be a third stringer. I've seen third stringers.
No practice squad.
Maybe practice squad, but that's about it. Because when he has gotten playing time, especially in preseason, he's gotten mauled. So and this guy hasn't grown. He's been an Eagle for a while now. This guy has not grown, improved at all. So, my problem is, and I was thinking with the whole Brett Toth thing yesterday, Philly eventually, it took them a little bit, but they eventually adjusted and started to mix up their play calling a little bit to account for missing linemen or for an ineffective offensive line. When you have, so it's no different in Houston. Houston, to me, they're getting in trouble because they don't have an offensive line, and yet the play calling is not changing. They're running the same offense as if Laremy Tunsil was still there. And it's you can't, when you have different personnel on the offensive line, you have to understand what their strengths and weaknesses are. And when you understand what the strengths and weaknesses are, you have to devise a game plan that, allows your quarterback to play to those strengths. This is why it's a team game. This is all that goes into it. So, when you don't have an offensive line, what's the best thing to do to counteract it? Quick passes, not screens, never screens. Quick passes, and basically anything that takes about 3 seconds to develop. Basically 3 to 5 seconds is your range. Is what you have. If it develops longer than that, you are dead meat.
Oh my God! I just came up with a new idea for a shirt. It's the Madden play of a halfback screen, and it just says "F no" for branding.
Because they always assume when you don't have an offensive line, we're gonna catch these defenses off guard with a screen. No, what? No stop. Screens don't work. Stop running them 10 times a game. I'm sick of this shit.
If you block it correctly.
But most teams
yes.
don't. They don't. What I don't understand is when I see the Eagles run it, do you realize that Devontae Smith is not a blocking wide receiver? Why is Devontae Smith out on the edge trying to block for a screen?
Especially of all, we've got some big bodied receivers. Then you put that skinny bastard out there.
But the thing is, it's not just us, but that's an example of how we do it. But But it's like so many teams do the same things. You have your worst blocking personnel on the field, and you're running a screen. Really, this is what we're doing here? Like,
Oh my god.
Well, like screens work well for us because we have two receivers that are over 6'2" and 200 pounds.
yes, it makes
And
sense.
and we and our running back is literally the fastest guy in the entire league. This is for the team I coach, not for
Yeah.
Seahawks or whatever. But
Yeah.
But that makes
But-
also makes sense because it's like, at a simple level of high school, those plays also have a higher probability of working.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean, especially when you have those factors going for you, you know.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
So
it's just like it bothers me when I see teams in the NFL do it when they either don't have the personnel to do it, or or not even if you have the personnel, but just calling out on the wrong down and distance. Like a 2nd and 7 should not be a screenplay. It's like if you get to like 2nd and medium, or you get to like third and medium, why is it a screen? Why? Like, that's never going to work. I've seen us do it. I've seen plenty of other teams do it in the league this year. I'm like, and guess what? It always gets blown up like a loss of 2 yards. Why? Those plays in those situations do not make any damn sense. But to get back to it, because I don't think the Texans run it too much. But
They do. When they do, it's stupid because they always lose like 2 yards.
see, look at this play right here on 1st and 10. This is exactly what I'm talking about with why it's not all C.J. Stroud's fault. You're running a play action. Your offensive line sucks. By the time that he turns around to throw that football off a fake handoff, he is dead. Look at this. There's 2 guys in his face. Like,
He's also, I will say, he also just on a regularly has over the last 3 years, like data-drivenly speaking, been one of the worst quarterbacks against the pressure and the blitz in the NFL.
Because he
Yeah.
doesn't adjust to it ever.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't absolve him of blame at all. Like, I still think that.
No, I
he's-
know, but it just because I think the original question of if I remember, was literally something like, "What's wrong with C.J. Stroud?"
Yeah.
And I was just bringing that up because it's there are fundamental aspects of getting to that second stage in the NFL of a young career that he's just fucking up on.
I often wonder if at this point, if this season continues this way for them and him, that'll be 2 out of 3 seasons now where he has not been good, including 2 straight, and it's been a decline ever since his rookie year. Now
I think at that point you'd have to decline the 5th-year option.
like
I think you accept it and you don't extend him. I think you accept it just as a safety valve.
yeah, I'm wondering here what they would do. That's just if this season doesn't turn out, which I don't think it will. But I'm just looking at this and I'm going, like, has there ever been a quarterback to have a good rookie year like this, barring injuries? Like, because RG3 was all injuries, but because RG3 is probably an example if you count the injuries, but that's not his fault. They gave him no offensive line, but it's not that part of it is Stroud doesn't have the offensive line, but part of it is also just he is making some of the worst decisions with the football. Like, these aren't decisions that he made in his first year. Like, these are decisions he's been making since pretty much week 1 of last season.
right.
And I'm trying to wonder. I'm trying to figure out why it's happening, because I'm wondering if year 1 was just one of those things where there's no tape on him, and
That's what I think it was, because there were a lot of people who weren't C.J. Stroud. I mean, I was one of them. There were a lot of people who weren't C.J. Stroud fans coming out of college, and then we watched him that year, and we're like, "What the hell is this?"
yeah. I wasn't a Stroud guy. I wasn't a Stroud guy coming out of college. I didn't really see it with him, and I mean, listen, he could still turn around. He's still young. It's only his 3rd year,
Of course.
but if this continues the whole rest of this year, and then we're going into next year wondering, oh my god, what's going to happen to CJ? It's a slippery slope. He's literally, it hasn't just been like a slight decline. It's been a massive decline. So
It's been a dive, and this is with an organization that we thought had a somewhat decent front office and coach now.
yeah.
Yeah. Shane, what are you noticing from a coaching standpoint from CJ?
It's I think it's a lot of things. I mean, first of all, the lack of tape, like you were saying. I think offensively, they have not had very good coaching since the rookie year. They've. I mean, when you're. The other issue, too, is, I mean, they're trying to make this really good, proficient offense with one of the worst offensive lines in the league, and a receiving core that's okay but not great. I mean, something too special. Sorry to burst everyone's bubble who thought that they were the next big thing. And, a 30-year-old running back.
Look at these stats,
just,
though. Look at these stats.
One of 6 for 29 and a pick from CJ.
That's for 10. That's for passes that are 10 plus yards on the field. Meanwhile, Darnold's 8 of 11 for 159 and a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean that's not a recipe for success.
Which is crazy for me because I'm looking at stats right now that have him that show what he's done in the short game under 10 yards, and they're not good either.
Yeah. So I think really, I mean, it may have just been a little, kind of lightning in a bottle his rookie year. New guy, new coaching staff. Like it's just nobody really knew what to expect, And then now they find themselves here, and where his offensive line's worse, his weapons are worse, his run game's not as consistent. I mean, it's just everything is like going against him now.
Including himself.
Yeah, pretty much. But, and I think his confidence has been rattled quite a bit. I mean, just his mechanics are a little off. I see a few times where he's not like stepping toward his throw. Which is, I mean, that's like quarterback 101 right there. And then you have a lot of just bad decisions. And I think a big part of that is just, pretty bad direction from the offensive staff. Their current guy is Nick Caley, who was he was the pass game coordinator for the Rams, because that's always worked out when people hire one of those guys to be the offensive coordinator. Shane Waldron. Anyways, so this
Kevin
is
Patullo.
Kevin,
Oh my God, Kevin! Oh Jesus, I forgot.
True.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
We almost made it through a show without mentioning that big thing.
I had
We
to
can't.
because
We can't. It's so bad.
The second I heard pass game coordinator, I heard, oh yeah, that doesn't work. We get promoted to OC. I'm like, yeah, that guy. I just met. Listen, I don't care what we did this week because you know why? That I have to get off my chest. I said it yesterday, but it's so true. Yesterday was not him out coaching Brian Flores. It was Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith saying, "Fuck it, I'll do it myself." That's what happened today.
Myself.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
If there's anybody you do not promote to an offensive coordinator, it is a run or pass game coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A running backs coach, and sometimes an offensive line coach. Quarterbacks coaches, receivers coaches, hire them all day.
Yep.
Some O-line coaches, sure. Running backs coaches, no. No offense to running backs, but they're usually not the brightest people.
What is this play?
What
is happening?
I looked up from the computer to look at the TV, and I was like, "What formation is that supposed to be?"
That's amazing. They
Wait.
were trying to get him off sides.
What do you
Jake
mean? What
Bobo
formation?
was at quarterback. What is happening?
Because they had Jake Bobo lining up like under the long snap, or no, on the side of the long snap. What the hell? Wait a minute.
Michael Dixon was at receiver and Jake Bobo was at quarterback.
I'm just seeing it now.
That's awesome. I'm glad they didn't snap it. That was dope.
If you're gonna get them to jump, leave the offense out there, not a pseudo punt formation.
That's awesome. That was great. That was actually amazing. That's awesome. Scoop, do you mind if we do the panic-o-meter on Sunday so we have one more game before we do that? Because I do want to make sure we get to my cousin Vinny before we go. And we
No, of course not.
Yeah, but before we do that,
you want me to say my Dodgers? You want me to say my Dodgers shit for the weekend?
Yes, yeah. Go for it.
Oh, you want me to do it now?
Yeah, you could do it now. I wanted to get to the Lions too, but you can go for it now. Go
ahead. We're still on football now, so you go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. The Lions played the best, most complete performance of any team in the NFL this year, especially defensively, with again all their injuries.
Yeah,
that's pretty much all I gotta say. But
I'm pissed. I switched my pick in our pick'em league.
What?
I switched to the Buccaneers.
No.
I switched because I was like, bro, when I heard that half of the starting defense of Detroit was missing, I was like, oh, Baker Mayfield's going to eat tonight. Oh, and none of that happened. So my picks, my season's over. I mean, I know I'm still in third, and I probably won't relinquish that. Like, the top three is clearly like the three of us that are up there, but like, which is why I don't get how you two are on the bottom.
Yeah, what's happening with you guys?
I'm
I'm
already.
Well, it's definitely not helping that I have multiple times forgotten to put in my Thursday pick.
Yikes!
Well,
that's definitely not helping.
Shane, do you realize last year when we
no, I got it. No, I got it. Yeah, I'm not happy about it either.
I just want to be able to beat, like, if nothing else this year, I want to be able to beat the experts again, and the three of us did that so well last season.
And you know what? Scoop is able to say he beat the experts this year because he got a lot of the lines right. So depending on
Oh God.
But yeah, anything else on the Lions? I mean, that was just a complete performance. I don't know if we'll see that again this year, but that was great.
I'm confused.
Well, go ahead.
I'm just confused on the opposite side of what the hell the Bucks were doing tonight.
I have no idea.
Watching,
go ahead.
No, I'm like, because in my mind that's why I picked the Bucks. I'm like, okay, the Lions defense when they are healthy isn't great. So I'm like, okay, well now they're missing half their starting defense. This should be like, Emeka Ibuka's time to eat. I mean, listen, Mike Evans went down, but still, I like Tez Johnson a lot. Obviously, I'm a Ducks fan. I know what Tez Johnson can do. I was looking at them like, oh, okay, they're going to explode offensively. I mean, not have the biggest game in the world, but I figured they probably put up like 27 points. 30 points, something like that. And I'm like, I'm looking at that game and I'm like, they put up 9 and they were down like freaking 14-0, 21-9. I'm like, what the hell is Tampa Bay doing in that game? Like, even with like before and after Mike Evans went down, nothing changed. It just felt like it was a weird game from the Bucs standpoint. Now the Lions, I give them credit, but the Lions didn't really do anything offensively that we haven't seen them do all year. It was Jared Goff completing around, between 28 to 32 passes, not completing them, attempting 28 to 32 passes a game, which he pretty much does every week, throwing somewhere between 200 and 300 yards, which he does every week. And he had a touchdown and a pick or whatever it was, or 2 touchdowns and a pick. And then, but what was really bad, I mean, honestly, really what won Detroit the game tonight? Well, defense was great, but that was complete on their end. But then it was like, bro, okay, wait, before I finish that, C.J. Stroud can't miss that throw.
That was so bad.
You can't miss that throw. But then you get to the biggest thing that the Detroit did tonight was pretty much, it was just letting Jahmyr Gibbs run wild.
Yeah.
Oh my God, unbelievable.
Like how many? What was it? It wasn't even just the running game for him. I mean, his what was it, 78-yard touchdown, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Well, on top of that, and Tampa couldn't get theirs going worth anything.
That's why I'm so surprised at the Bucks, though, more so than I'm like. I was impressed by the Lions, yeah, but I was just shocked at the Bucks, who've looked better than that with all their injuries all year, looked like that tonight. And I was like,
and even the, I don't know if y'all saw it, but even the one pick by Mayfield toward the beginning of the game, I mean, that was not a badly I mean it wasn't the best thrown ball in the world, but that was not a badly thrown ball either.
So you know what? Let me throw this at you guys.
Okay.
I mean, and this will be the one thing. I guess we'll kind of save it. Well, the whole panic meter, worryometer, whatever the hell we're going to call it.
I want to do it. I just don't think we'll have time because we got to do Mike.
I got you.
Like, what I'm trying to think of here, right, with the Bucks. Like,
well, so, we wanted to do the fraud meter, so I'm going to save that for Sunday. That's going to be our game.
That's what I'm trying to think of here. Is now the Bucks are 5-2, and their 2 losses came to basically what is pretty much the 2 best teams in the NFC. So
yeah, they don't feel like fluke losses, do they?
That's what I'm saying. And then when you look at their wins, it's against the Falcons, the Texans, the Jets, Seahawks. Okay, that's maybe a decent one, but that was a close game. And then you beat the ICU Niners, but those.
Wait, who else did they lose to?
They lost to the Lions and the Eagles. Well, Lions and Eagles.
Oh yeah.
So I'm worried. I'm really worried there because, or I'm not really worried. I'm starting to get worried because those are 2 losses in both games where they didn't show up. Like, yes, in the second half they showed up, but the Eagles, if the Eagles would not have taken their foot off the gas, the Eagles would have put up 45 on them. They would have destroyed them.
Yeah.
So, that's a problem I have there. And then tonight they got lit up by Detroit, and
on the flip side, I'm loving Detroit right now. It's not perfect, but I'm loving it.
It's Detroit never in the beginning. I mean, I think what we saw most from them was having to adjust to their losing both Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. I don't think that they were. I mean, from what I remember this offseason, they didn't lose a ton from a talent standpoint that I saw.
No, so it made the transition easier. CJ Stroud's just throwing it so deep, it's amazing.
It's just chuck and pray. With CJ Stroud, it's just chuck and pray at this point.
I think I'm watching my character on Madden.
Yep.
Exactly what it feels like.
Shane, do you have any thoughts on Lions Bucks? I know you're more watching the Mariners game, but do you have any overall thoughts?
I mean, I'm kind of surprised it was. I picked Tampa, but
anyone else having trouble hearing him?
Yeah, a little bit.
Hello,
Shane. There we go.
Yeah, it's just a mic.
Your mic was cracking out. Keep going.
That was weird.
There you go.
No, yeah, but what was I saying? Oh, I was expecting Tampa to win, but if Detroit had won, wouldn't have been that shocking. But the fact that they won and it was not particularly close, that's So yeah, that was kind of surprising, but yeah, I mean Detroit. They're starting to feel like a real team to me. Whereas Tampa, I mean, they definitely do feel real as well. But yeah, it seems like when the lights are bright and they gotta get it done against the good teams, it's like, oh, I don't know if we trust them that much. So. Yeah, that's more or less how I feel there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Shane said he does have to go shortly, so let's do My Cousin Vinny, Scoop's favorite movie.
Yay.
Shane, introduce My Cousin Vinny and why you chose it.
No, let's have Scoop do that since it was his suggestion.
Ooh, okay. We're okay, Scoop. Go ahead, introduce it.
Appreciate it. So My Cousin Vinny came out in 1992. It's been my favorite movie for years. And I actually was talking to Brandon the other day. Well, in the group chat, I had said there's one scene from this movie I can't wait to talk about.
Please tell me what that scene is. I'm tired of guessing it.
I have no idea. I watched the movie and I had no idea.
All right. Well, anyway, for those who haven't seen it, basically, it's some of the main actors. You've got Joe Pesci, my favorite actor, Marissa Tomei. I know we've spoken about her not only in My Cousin Vinny but other films as well, and just several others, Ralph Macchio, et cetera, et cetera. And basically, Pesci's character gets called down to help in Beecham County, Alabama, as a distant cousin of his is arrested, wrongly accused of murder after accidentally leaving a store with a can of tuna fish with a friend of his, and basically gets wrongly accused of murder because the store clerk gets shot around the same time that they're in the store. Anyway, and basically Vinny, the Pesci's character, basically lies and basically kind of misrepresents his record as to what he's been as an attorney, telling the judge in the South that he had been in the legal practice for 16 years and done a lot of big cases. In actuality, he only passed the bar 6 weeks prior. He had only done personal injury cases, and he I think it was 7 times that he had to take the bar.
I think it was like 6 or 7.
Yeah. But so anyway, just to kind of, for those who are watching who haven't seen the movie, you should.
Please
but
do.
just kind of give some backstory there. The scene that I was talking about in terms of it being my favorite scene of that movie is when they are Stan and Stan and Billy are having sort of second thoughts and about wanting to go with a public defender because of how badly the first court appearance went, and Billy and Vinny are sitting in the jail cell, and he takes out the deck of cards.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yes.
and he goes, he's going to show you the bricks. He's going to show you how they got the straight size. He'll show you how they got the right shape. He'll show you that they have everything a brick should have, except when you look at the bricks at the right angle, they're as thin as this playing card. That
is the best scene in the movie.
Nobody pulls the wool over the eyes of a Gambini, especially this one. I freaking love that scene.
That is the best scene in the movie. I agree.
So I loved that one. It was a movie that, I mean, obviously, just as an Italian, it's got a lot of kind of funny Italian, like New York, Brooklyn type humor. But as somebody who is pursuing a legal career, and somebody who kind of enjoys the fact that even though he had an unconventional path and sort of an unconventional demeanor, the fact that his attention to detail, his intellect, and his quick sort of sharp and keen eye and wit kind of ruled the day. I really enjoyed that from a legal perspective as well. I love the scene where he's questioning the guy about how did it take you 5 minutes to cook your grits when it takes the whole grit eating world 20 minutes, which
I don't think I've ever had grits. I need to have grits.
I've had
really,
them
you need to have grits. I literally live like my building is attached to a place that's got fire grits.
I don't think I've ever had it, and I just thought about that today. I'm gonna make some grits very soon.
I've had them once or twice. I like them. They're not my go-to though.
Shane, have you had grits?
Understandable. Texturally, they're a little bit hard to adjust to, I would say.
Yeah.
I've had good ones and bad ones.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
but anyway, I could yak about this movie for 2 hours, but yeah, I was really excited to kind of watch this, and for you guys to say, I know, at least a couple of y'all I know had seen it, if not everybody, but
I have not. I'm the only one who hasn't seen it.
You hadn't seen it, okay?
Yeah.
But again, it's an awesome mix, I think, of just things that fire me up and also things that make me laugh, and I love when those things kind of converge on one another. And just again, Joe Pesci. You could put Joe Pesci in so many different roles, in whether it's mafia, whether it's legal, or of course his role in I almost said Toy Story. Holy crap, Home Alone. Oh my god.
He's better. He's better in this than Home Alone, which is saying something because I love him in Home Alone.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But it's just this. I think really allows him. I mean, obviously he's obviously the star male role, but it kind of allows him to kind of show both intellect and humor, which I think is just awesome. And I think a lot of Italian guys watch this and they're like, yeah.
Shane, from a filmmaking standpoint, also, Scoop, what's your rating on this movie? I'm sure it's quite high.
Remind me, how do we do this out of 5 or out of 10?
Out of 10.
I'm going to be biased. I won't call it a 10 because I don't feel qualified enough to give movies 10s. But 9 to 9.5, I would have to say. Like, I freaking love the movie, and may he rest in peace. Shout out to my grandfather. He's actually the first one who showed me the movie when several years ago. So just wanted to mention that as well because he is the reason why I've seen that movie.
So, are you going to go 9.5?
Yeah, I'll go 9.5. I'll leave the 10s for people like Shane who actually know about filmography and stuff like that. Cinematography. Yeah, that. See, I can't even say the damn word.
Here's the thing: I've never given a 10.
Yeah,
I don't. The only 10 I've given on this show is A Quiet Place Part 1. I think.
Yeah, so I won't be the first one to give it that, but it's just, I mean, it's my favorite movie. So if I were to give it anything other than a 9, I'd be lying.
Yeah, so Downfall and A Quiet Place were the only 2 10s I gave. All right, Shane, from a filmmaker's perspective, what are your thoughts on My Cousin Vinny?
Yeah, I remember, because I kind of, with this segment, I like to do, like a movie in each major genre, kind of, So we've, last week we had a mystery kind of, and so on and so forth. This is very much intended to be like our comedy movie this year.
Fantastic palate cleanser after the sad
for real
weeks.
Yeah. And then so anyways, this is, I think, I was looking at it, it's like, okay, what's a good comedy we could do? I had a few thoughts, and then Scoop one day over the summer says that My Cousin Vinny's his favorite movie, and I was like, that's it. That's a great one. Because the problem with comedies is that a lot of them are so hard to judge in a critical sense, because most of them from a filmmaking perspective are not that well made. It's just a script and good actors, and that's it. Like, nothing about it is very deep or interesting or, not reinventing the wheel or anything. Which sometimes is fine, I think with this movie, I have a list. Well, I have a list that Robert's seen it of like probably 200 movies that
I specifically asked for it because that was like during COVID when I was bored. I was like, I need
it's like
movies. And I haven't watched a lot of them because I know Shane's going to pick them for the show, so I've just been waiting.
Yeah,
a lot.
Don't watch them. But it's like 200. Like my top 200-ish movies of all time. And I'm like pulling from them for this.
I don't think I've even seen 200 movies in my life.
I've probably seen 2,000.
That's incredible.
Well, maybe more than that. Anyways, but yeah. So, anyways, all that to say, My Cousin Vinny was in the list. I just, for whatever reason, wasn't planning on doing it this year. Again, I don't know why, but then you suggested it, and I was like, oh, hell, might as well. So now here we are. But yeah, I mean, this movie is, it's very funny. Obviously, it has a lot of memorable moments, and I think the characters all, or the characters, God, the actors all play their parts perfectly. And just the dynamic they have is, it's very, very quick, very sharp, really good timing, very witty. It's, I think the dynamic of like, kind of this, old school New York lawyer type versus
Where I live now.
yeah, versus like, a typical Southerner or whatever. I just think it's an interesting dynamic, and having that all wrapped up in like a legal drama, so to speak, it's just a fun idea. And it's very rewatchable too. A lot of comedy movies they're not that rewatchable because it's like, the jokes and it's like, okay. But this one, it's like, I think this is my fourth time watching it. And I'm, still laughing at it, and I'm like, oh, that's good. I mean, I think really the only criticisms I have is like,
that was a terrible pick by Sam Darnold.
We've got to fight. We've got to fight.
And we got to fight.
Ooh.
Great.
Oh my god! I wish you guys could see this.
Pringles was punching at the TV.
Pringles was punching at the TV.
I think I think some of the humor in this movie is a little lazy, just because it's like, sometimes it borders into just like making fun of stereotypes, which it's not like something that I'm like, well, that's offensive. It's nothing like that. It's just like, all right, you could have done something a little different, but sure. And and like, technically this is a legal drama, and the plot is quite basic and predictable. It doesn't really interest me all that much, because I'm like, well, this is, I can see where this is going. But still, it's just, the ride to get there is still fun. So I think I'd give it like a B+, which, my grading scale that's like an 8 out of 10 for you guys. So
yeah, still solid. Yeah.
Yeah,
Brandon,
very much.
Brandon, go ahead.
Yeah, when I feel like it's, well, people know this movie across the country, but I feel like especially if you're like, I get it for you living out there in Seattle, if you have, obviously for you, Rob, like, having not seen it, like in the tri-state area, it's basically a rite of passage to have watched this movie. Because it's like anybody that's from New York and New Jersey, loves this movie. Everybody I know has seen this movie. But it's just it's weird how people will remember Joe Pesci for Home Alone, but it's like that's like the last thing I remember him for.
Same with me. Yeah, this and Goodfellas.
Yeah, I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, Goodfellas. Obviously this one, My Cousin Vinny. Like the list goes on. I mean, he's done so many different things, but it's just I think about this movie and I'm like honestly, I still find myself. This movie came out over 30 years ago. I still find myself just laughing at everything in it, even if it's
Yeah.
cheesy. If it's
Me
cheesy,
too.
I still like it. Like just the amount of well, why I say like if you're from the tri-state area, like you love this movie because you can also not just because it's featuring a lead. Both leads that are in this movie. They're coming from Brooklyn, but also Joe Pesci himself was born and raised in Newark, so in New Jersey. So like this thing is like I was saying, it's a rite of passage just because it's like it features this area, kind of the two leads being from this area, both in their personal lives and in their professional lives for this movie. But see, we can handle the amount of exaggerated accents, New Jersey and New York accents. Now, now this movie, they're playing up the New York accent, New Jersey accent like a lot more. But it also makes it funnier that way. But I think that where in God's name is CJ Stroud throwing the football?
Oh Lord.
But with this movie, like every scene to me is funny. Like obviously, yeah, like when he first eats the grits, and he's like, "What is this?" He's like, "You never heard of grits?" It's like, "Of course I heard of grits." And he's taking like a small forkful of it.
That looks so good, by the way. When I saw that plate, I was like, "Give me that now."
It's a good old Southern breakfast.
Every time I watch this, it's exactly what I think.
But the thing is, what makes my grandfather watch this all the time too. My grandfather's seen this damn thing since it came out, but my grandfather and I we will watch this all the time, and we laugh at the same, like literally the running gag of that everything at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning wakes him up. Whether that's
my favorite. That's my favorite gag in the whole movie.
Yeah, and but the first time it happens, he gets about his bed. He's like, "What the fuck is that?" It's like, and of course, with Joe Pesci, everything is like very like kind of like even though he's being funny, he plays it seriously. So it's like that. That's what's it's just a typical New York, New Jersey thing. Like that's how we talk.
The train scene. She spoke to him through a 10 after 4.
Like it's
not 5.
I mean, or hell, even the scene where they spend what, a day or so at the other lawyer's cabin,
and then he falls in mud and he has that weird ass suit.
But he makes fun of her biological clock ticking. He's like, let's see how much shit we can pile on top of this case, and he lists off like 10 different things.
And then he just sits like this.
Yeah, and he just sits like this. He's like, I'm like, yeah, that's like everything in this movie. It's like, Joe Pesci is because it's one thing to be funny, like to be like like a positive person and funny in a movie, but this is him being like just a straight up like pissed off
curmudgeon,
New Jerseyan, and then just but it's funny because he's deadpanning it. So like it's like it's really, and he's being sarcastic, it's being deadpan, it's true to our area. So it's because nobody speaks more fluent sarcasm and stuff like that than the tri-state area. But I think with this movie, I mean, there's so many memorable things. I mean, the other running gag is him also, with the whole name thing where he gives them, he tells when they're trying to find his lawyer records, and he keeps
Gallo.
Yeah, he's like, no, I said Callo, Callo.
Which, Brandon, the amount of times I'll watch this and I still hear Joey Gallo when I hear that name.
Yeah.
Joey Gallo.
That's what I thought it was. And I'm like, oh, he's saying Jerry. But when I first watched him, I kept hearing Joey in my ears, and I guess I gotta get my ears cleaned. But I think overall with this movie, I mean, it's like I just I mean, what kind of helps this? I mean, I think my favorite scene. Like, if we're talking about favorite scenes, I mean, there is so many. like I said, like the whole 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, sounds waking them up. That's probably my favorite running gag in the movie. But I think I just I guess if I had to pick a scene, I mean it's probably everybody and their mother is going to say the two Utes scene. So
Utes?
that's
By the
not.
way, I was like, wait, youths? Oh yeah, youth. Because don't you guys say that sometimes?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, I know what that is.
We also speak so fast here. We don't say youths. We say Utes. The two Utes. But
I'm just can't ever think of a time when I've used the word youths in a sentence.
But
I don't know when I would use that.
But I mean, I think just it's not even a favorite scene. I think it's just like I think it's probably just my favorite kind of running gag throughout the movie is not running gag. I want to say what my favorite running gag is. I think my favorite like funny moments are just the little back and forths he has with the judge. Like I think just
you're in contempt of court and his bail is set for $200.
Yeah, and then the best part is like
fucking surprise.
And like he does it so many times too. Like by the third time that he's held in contempt of court, he's like, "Oh, that's a shocker." He's like, "What'd you say?" "Nothing, Judge." And
he's like, "I'll sleep in jail," and he actually sleeps well, even though guys are constantly
there's guys
yelling.
fighting. His alarm's going off. Yeah,
and he's like, "Oh my god."
I love it. Or hell, I mean, he obviously because with being stuck in the mud, it ruins his suit that she got dry cleaned, so he has to find basically a magician's like suit, more or less, like a crazy suit from like the Goodwill store. And
I also love how the mud thing comes up so many times between the suit, between the when she's
the tires
being the case winner with the tires thing in the middle of the. Like I love how they take these little elements of it and they resurface in so many different ways throughout the movie.
Yeah.
All right, fourth and goal for the Texans here. This is probably the game.
I think your guys jumped offside, but they're not calling it. Yeah, you guys definitely jumped offside, and they didn't call it.
What were they just cutting on Reed's hand?
The governor called and said you better not penalize them for that, or else the city might.
Am I the only one that noticed? Am I the only one that noticed that?
I thought it was pretty instantaneous. All right, Brandon, what's your rating?
I think. No, bro, he jumped.
He absolutely jumped. What the hell?
God. But yeah, my rating.
Oh my god, bro!
To give it like a 9 or a 10 is hard because I mean no movie is, and to me, comedy movies are definitely not 9s and 10s. But I think this comes damn close. For me, this is an 8.5. It's a movie that every time I watch it, I know what's gonna happen 10,000 times over, but it's like I don't get tired of it. I just don't
It's like Moe's Cutter. You know what's coming. You're still not ready for it.
Yeah, I find little things. I think each time, even though I've watched this movie about maybe 10, 15 times, like there's just little things I find each time where I'm like, I didn't notice that before, or I didn't notice that before. So I'm like, I will say this. I definitely think when I was trying to guess your favorite scene when I was sitting there watching the movie that night.
Yeah.
I definitely think, and it's why I brought it up, the scene that made me laugh the hardest when I rewatched it was him talking about, when he brings the files home, or just in general, he brings he keeps thinking that he's going to crack this case by bonding with the other attorney, and then she's like, it's called disclosure, dickhead. It's like, yeah, she's like, he's supposed to. And she's like, what do you
basically? You're entitled. It's called disclosure, you dickhead.
And then the best part is she's sitting there and she's obviously because she is outsmarting her fiance, but she says, besides that, I'm basically paraphrasing, but she's like, what do you think you're gonna get out of hunting a deer? She's like, do you even know how to hunt? Do you even have hunting clothes? And she's like, imagine you're a deer walking along, you get thirsty, you see a
bad little brook,
you take a little drink, and bam! Someone blows your fucking head off. Like, it's like, anything like. I mean, she's perfect for this. She's perfect for this movie, but I think that just every scene has something funny that if you go back and rewatch it, it's fun. So that's basically it. So this will be the closest I ever give a comedy movie to a 9 or a 10. It's an 8.5.
I'm giving it a 9.5. This is not my favorite comedy movie.
Wow.
I love it.
I told you.
And you know what? The comedy was funny. It was really early in the morning when I watched it, so I couldn't like laugh super hard. But I really want to watch it again to think more about the comedy because I was more focused on the case. Because I thought what happened in the courtroom was so out of box that I was like, I'm just curious how the hell this is gonna work. These guys are dealing with the death penalty here, and you have this conkadoodle lawyer dealing with this whole situation. And the beginning of this damn movie is based off tuna fish. So like everything, and then I like the beginning too when they're driving and it's about the South, like spending time in the South. So I thought that fit really well.
I will say I also just love the soundtrack to this movie so much.
Oh yeah, it's perfect. No, but it's just the sight gags. It's Pesci. It's all the actors from top to bottom. I definitely have to watch it again to kind of get more of a sense of it. But there's so much about this that's just funny. You guys mentioned the sight gags, but yeah, for me this is a 9.5. It's like the one movie that I've seen one comedy movie that I'm like, oh yeah, this was really joyful. It was a really fun 2 hours. It didn't drag on. It wasn't sad like our last 2 weeks. It was just the joy, and I really enjoyed it. And this is great.
Do we get more joy next week? Or are we getting?
Yeah. Shane, what are we doing next week? Sorry to go over time. I know you have to head out, but
I do.
What do you...
It's
So do I.
since it's our Halloween movie or Halloween week. It'll be.
Oh yeah,
Halloween.
you guys need a costume. Is it this Thursday that it's Halloween week or
Next Thursday?
Next.
Thank God, because I've picked out a costume. I just don't have it yet.
Yeah. So yeah, next week. So are we doing our Halloween movie this week though?
Yes, because if we do it the week after, it'll be after Halloween, and that feels weird.
Yeah.
Good point.
So we're doing the Sixth Sense.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh,
okay, that's a good one too.
That's gonna be I think it's gonna be the first one other than My Cousin Vinny that I've already seen.
Huh.
Okay, good.
Are the Texans actually going to score here?
Even if they do, it doesn't matter. Like with how bad they are, are they going to pull up Broncos and score 5 times in 3 minutes?
Brandon,
No.
I have probably 200 friends that watch football. You've got to be the most pessimistic football fan I've ever met.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I did.
All right, guys.
I didn't shut off the Broncos game. I stuck around for that one. So
Yeah, all right, Shane, we'll let you go.
All right.
Sorry, buddy. It's a sad day.
Good night, brother.
Story of my life.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I'm actually gonna go have some alcohol after the show. That's how sad I feel.
I'm a Seattle sports fan. All right. First of all, I get the pick at the goal line, and they steal my basketball team. Now this. Then we get a hockey team, and they suck.
Flip the pick at the goal line with the stealing of the basketball team. I think the stealing of the basketball team happened just before that. So
The basketball team happened in 08.
Actually, yeah,
Haven't
no, that's
happened in
right.
08,
That's right.
Yeah, I was a kid, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really affect me as
Just,
bad.
just in time for the economic crash.
oh my God, did Seattle really get? Wow, Seattle's really gotten beat that bad in the last 15 years. Oh my God.
All right, Shane. Peace, brother.
Anyways, see you later, guys.
Peace.
Bye, Shane.
Do you guys mind staying on just to see if this gets interesting?
Yeah.
I don't,
Oh
bro.
my God, the screen.
All right, Scoop. I'm sorry we ran out of time for your rant, but I want to give you ample time, so we'll do it with a World Series preview on Thursday.
Yeah, that's fine. Because quite honestly, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but that game just kind of drained my energy so badly with how fucking depressing that was.
You probably won't even do it. We probably won't even manage the rant that effectively as a whole, not just you.
Yeah, well, it was not even just that. It's just like I don't have the energy to get pissed off a second time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh my god! Oh, I was gonna come back.
To be honest, I am the What is Thursday night again? It's Vikings
The
Chargers.
24th. I mean the 23rd rather.
Yeah, Vikings Chargers. I'm excited for that. I don't think that's going to be too bad.
Over under 5.5 interceptions between the two quarterbacks.
Oh,
Under. I'll go under. I'll go 4.
I'm not so sure with what I just saw between Herbert and Wentz.
wait, what is it? How many is it? 5? Is it 5.5?
5.5 was Scoop's line.
That was just me saying interceptions between the two teams combined.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's under, it's not easy.
I mean that is like that literally is it's a top 5 defense because of Brian Flores. Vikings are. I know the Vikings coming into yesterday were a top 2 pass defense in the NFL. I think they were number 2. I think. And then
until not a good passer Jalen Hurts comes in and eats their lunch.
Yeah. So
what the hell are you doing?
I'm going to say over, but I'm going to say that they're going to throw 3 each.
Yeah, that's about where I was at.
That's not a catch, right?
No.
That's not a catch.
Be. Oh, did you see freaking oh, what the hell's his name? TJ Hawkinson all, pissing in his Wheaties about the lack of a catch call for him.
I'll be honest, that wasn't a catch.
It's not.
I watched it multiple times.
He lost it multiple times, and then he's like, I don't know what they're looking at, and there's I'm like, they're looking at 18, and he's like, and they had it on they got to stop involving the cameras because they had one angle that shows it, and then another angle that's. I'm like, bro,
it wasn't a catch. Period.
I'm like, bro, you're not a rookie. Like, why are you talking so stupid?
And like, what is it? And what surviving the ground has been a thing in football when it comes to catching a football for the last God knows how long. So it's like you don't even know the rules.
No, seriously, and I used to be a Hawkinson fan. And
my God, we have a game.
We actually have a game. Oh my God.
Since we're at the 2-minute warning, would you guys like to hear what Mike McDaniel said yesterday and today?
Lord.
Okay, let's do another over under 26.5.
26.5 what?
Just stutters.
Oh yeah, probably over.
Anyway, go ahead.
Here we go.
Do a better job of.
Oh, okay. Wait, this was yesterday. This was yesterday, by the way. My apologies.
Well, it was 4 already.
Do a better job of saying that clearly because it, in game, we have to find our composure. But realistically, you do hard truths in this league. You are always held accountable for your ultimate performance, and you coach through tape. So I have had nor will have no problem, telling the truth of the tape, and you have to either you accept it and rise to the challenge and correct those things, or you're subject to the same exact types of failures that I know that the guys are tired of. They wanted to win. Okay, they did, and they didn't do it. And it's all of us. So I don't think anybody's spared from accountability. I think we all need to look at the mirror or in the mirror. And the main thing is teams that go through hardships, you double down on those hardships if you don't stick together.
He basically also said He basically also said that we just didn't see it coming from the Browns. And then here's what he said today on Tua.
Oh boy.
For the next several weeks, barring injury.
Okay, here's Tua.
Will he be your starter for the next several weeks, barring injury?
Yeah, he's going to take the snaps this week, and he's going to be our starter this week. And my expectation is that we don't throw 10 picks.
That's what Mike McDaniel said about Tua today.
You know, he speaks very much like he could be running for president in this day and age.
Jesus. Brandon, you were dying that whole time.
Just because it's like every time he tried to, like, he started to get on a somewhat coherent thought, it was
no, he was the public defender in My Cousin Vinny.
Yes.
like,
I'll say that, like, I know that I stutter and I trip over my words a decent number of times.
Not as bad as that.
No.
I don't think any of us ever have. Like, you can tell that he literally doesn't have any answers for this shit show going on, and he's like what he even said.
He literally said in the presser, "We didn't see this coming" in relation to the Browns' loss.
And it's not even just that. Like, even what he was saying was just a bunch of numbers. We teach through tape. We have to go back, like we have to go back and look at the tape, and we have to go back and correct things. And like,
who was it that said that quoted him as basically saying, "You win by winning"? Like, who was it who said that?
Yeah, it was McDaniel. He's like, "You win by winning." You whatever.
Yeah, and this is the same guy that I started dying laughing when he just deadpan delivers, like, after he stutters 1,000 times. When, like, oh, we lost. Like, oh, we didn't win. We didn't do that. I'm like, yeah, okay.
What?
Well,
Of course.
We know you did.
No shit, Sherlock. We just watched.
We watched the game, you idiot.
Like it's like, okay, like,
and that's the unfortunate thing is, like, I feel like there's a good number of people in sports and otherwise that are so book and information literate but they're just not good public speakers, and I think that that's kind of what he is, and I think that's probably why he was such a good coordinator, is that he was really good at the information and the X's and O's types of things. But my God, in terms of commanding a room,
I mean,
that's all that needs to be said.
Has Kevin Petula ever been interviewed in recent weeks?
He has.
What has he said?
It's only a couple times, but he just
I
states.
thought you meant has he been interviewed for a head coaching job for some reason?
I hope so. That's what I hope so.
That's the one that you actually hope.
If Brian Johnson can get interviewed for a head coaching job, this year can.
See, and that's why I always say, like, who's getting
James Rowson from the Yankees hitting coach is getting interviewed by the Twins for their manager job.
Yeah, what's going on with MLB managing vacancies? That's really weird.
Well, so the Anaheim Angels, because I refuse to call them a 5-word name, that's stupid. The Anaheim Angels basically were reported 2 weeks ago to be closing in on a deal with Albert Pujols, and then Pujols basically he and Art Moreno did not come to an agreement on what I understood largely to be how to handle the end of his remaining deferred salary from his playing contract, because there's some oddities there in terms of transitioning that and one thing or another. So my understanding is that was part of where the breakdown happened.
If Pujols gets the Padres job, I would be stunned.
If he does get the Padres job, you'd be stunned?
Yeah.
Here, give me.
Does he make
second
sense for the Padres job?
Here, give me 1 second. I want to look at all the Padres candidates, because I remember seeing.
Are there any other good ones?
Let me look. Hang on. Here, I'm looking right now. I'm trying to find the list here. You'd think okay, right here. Nick Hundley, their former catcher, was involved, but he withdrew from consideration. They're going to interview pitching coach Ruben Niebla, Ryan Flaherty. He's kind of been the main one that I've heard. But those are the only 3 names that I see right here. I think he's got a very good shot at the job if those are the main 3 candidates.
Wow.
Because a lot of times, if you get an interview late after they've already been interviewing several guys, and you just get your interview late, a lot of times that ends up being a good sign. That's how Nick Sirianni got the Eagles job. A lot of us thought that Josh McDaniels was getting the Eagles job, and then Sirianni came in at the 11th hour and won the deal.
Wow, McDaniels in Philly would have not been great.
Genuinely, that's what we thought was going to be. And then when it came out that, and Rappaport said that Sirianni had gotten the hire, I was like, who the is Nick Sirianni?
The game ends on a personal foul call. Really?
What did they do?
How is that a personal foul?
Oh, because he jumped on top of him?
But it wasn't. Oh my god!
That's actually that's so ticky tack.
It's a personal foul to my freaking eyes.
Oh my god, bro! Ref show. I mean, listen, but the Texans are going to win.
I hate that. That was dumb.
Me too. I don't care if my team wins or loses. I hate ending games on ref shows.
Not that the Texans, again, as Brandon said, not that the Texans are going to win, but I don't know how that's a personal foul. All right, and with that, for Shane, for Scoop, for Brandon, for myself, Robert, our sad day comes to an end. At least one thing good happened to Seattle today. Probably not the one we wanted, but it's okay. But we'll see you on Thursday. Scoop has a baseball rant that unfortunately we had to save for Thursday. We've been anticipating this rant for so long. I'm very excited for this. I think I know where you're going, but I'm hyped for it.
Yeah, well, excuse me, sorry. And I do want to mention just real quick before we sign off. We've done now 2 shows. I feel like that. At least at some point on Thursday, we got to talk about what happened on Friday. And I mean, that was baseball history that we witnessed on Friday. We got to talk about that at some point. Like, I know this is a football show, but that's
Ohtani? Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course we can. We can talk about it in relation with the World Series, of course.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable.
And that kind of ties into part of what I'm going to cover as well. But again, I say that, I'm sorry. Obviously to Shane and to Rob that this day went the way that it did. And not particularly thrilled that the team that was responsible for the other side of Game 5 last year I'll now be rooting for in the World Series. Yes, I will be rooting for the Dodgers. To Jay Kruger, I still can't believe you're shirking us and rooting for the Blue Jays. I'm gonna tell myself. I'm going to tell myself it's only because of your name, because I really would rather believe that. But yeah, no, thanks everybody. And, I look forward to seeing everybody again on Thursday night. Looking forward to another week of football. Hey, we had some pretty solid football this weekend. Hopefully we can get some more of that next week. And since I didn't get to say it on Sunday, roll Tide, smoke them if you got them.
Jesus. By the way, a lot of Alabama fans couldn't smoke a cigar. Don't smoke a cigar if you don't know how to. I don't.
What I almost did yesterday for the Sunday night show, I went online and I tried to order those fake cigarettes or cigars that they have at like Spirit Halloween to have for the freaking show. I just couldn't time it right for it to get here.
Damn. But yeah, that'll be fun on Thursday. Get some baseball, get some football in. And guys, good news. We're done. I believe we're done with the Monday Night Doubleheaders. I think we're done.
I don't have a problem with Monday Night Doubleheaders. I have a problem with Monday Night Doubleheaders that suck.
I don't mind doubleheaders like if they take place an hour apart from each other, but my God, man! I mean, I know why this one took place at 10 o'clock at night for us on the East Coast. Like, they got space.
I still like the schedule. I know it sucks for you guys on the East Coast, but
yeah.
See the thing. I don't even have a problem. Like, I don't have a problem with being on right now. It's
because we're always on right now.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The only thing that was excessive was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. We ended up on at freaking 2:30 in the morning somehow.
I have no idea how that happened. But yeah.
Keep in mind, I live in Central Time, so it was 12:30. It was 12:30 your time.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm glad we're done with it. I'm glad we're done with it this year. Thank God. Thank God we're done with the doubleheaders. The only Monday night doubleheader, quote unquote, is going to be that Week 18 Saturday. But that's it.
Hey, we don't care about that. That's probably going to be two games that don't matter.
I mean, hopefully they matter. We'll see. But yeah, for Brandon, for Scoop, for Shane, for myself, Robert, we will see you on Thursday. Peace, everybody.
Good night.
Night, everybody.
Peace.